Opening at Thought Park this year in 2024, Hyperia is meant to be the UK's best roller coaster. And over the past 3 years even, since 2021, people have gone on and on and on about this roller coaster. Which leads me to the question, is Hyperia being overhyped? Today we will be discussing this topic along with will it be the best coaster on park in the UK and MACK's best roller coaster. Is Hyperia overhyped? Well, first let's discuss the layout of this ride. You start by going on an outer bank. Why am I doing little hand movements? So you start by going on an outer bank and then up a massive 236 foot lift hill. Then drop and turn 180 degrees to the left, I think, into a drop. Of course, 90-degree vertical drop out into an Immelman, twist round, go into this weird outer bank roll kind of thing, who knows what it's called, round into a dive loop with loads of hang time, down into a wave turn I think, turn round into the brakes. Short layout you might think. Well, comparing it to other rides at the park, boom, 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 can't see my face anymore. It's not actually that short, but it's not that long either. Following on from the layout and length of the ride, we can see trains. Well, we can't see them yet, they haven't been released yet. But there is meant to be, I think, 3 trains, and 2 of these trains should be running constantly. And if they can, they're getting free on, is what I've heard. So that'll be good for operations, it'll be very, very speedy, hopefully. Like some of the rides at Thought Park, Storm Surge. But yeah, should be good operations, hopefully. And that'll make it a very good coaster in the UK. When you look at how good a coaster is going to be, you also have to consider the theming. I mean, think of Rookburg, where Fly is located, or any ride at Fantasyland for that matter. Or even look at Voltron, another one of MACK's creations that's opening this year. All of the Croatia-themed area with the 2 Tesla towers, don't know what they're called, but theming plays an essential part in making a good experience and ride. The theming on Hyperia is odd, to say the least. From what I've gathered, it's meant to be a happy Egyptian kind of theme. Find your feelings, that's the tagline of it all. And then it's just, I don't know. If it's meant to be a desert, which I think it is, considering all the sand in the promotional campaign, why are there plants as the main bit of theming? Green plants. Also, the planned viewing area of the ride, that's now not happening. So that takes away one of the main bits about the area as a whole. It's mainly just walk in pretty much where the entrance to Old Town was. Queue, do that weird sort of queue thing it has. Ride, walk off, you're out the area. Boom, done. So, as an area, it's not going to offer much. But you got green plants in a desert, so that's good, I guess. Now, while this may potentially be one of the best coasters in the UK, if not the best coaster in the UK, not theming wise, however, is it the best MACK ride ever? Now, let's discuss 3 main MACK rides. Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland de Pan in Belgium. Voltron Nevera, opening at Europa Park this year in Germany. And Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort in the UK. Now, we'll start off with Ride to Happiness. Fly is the only thing that's close to beating that. I still don't know which one is my number 1, honestly. Anyway, moving on from the best coaster in the world, Voltron Nevera. Now, while there's only about 4 people who have ridden this coaster from what I've seen on videos, it looks very, very good. Very good indeed. I can't name all the elements off the top of my head because I haven't looked into it that much. But it seems very action-packed with the 2 launches and especially that beyond vertical bit that's the main thing about the ride. Now we'll discuss Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort in the UK, which is arguably, according to other people, I've never done it myself, one of the best UK coasters, which is arguably, according to other people, one of the best coasters in the UK, along with Wicker Man and the Smiler and Stealth and all those other fun roller coasters. Now, I don't know when I'm going to go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but at some point, hopefully, I will, and I cannot wait to ride Icon. It looks like such a great ride, a MACK multi-launch. What more could you want? However, I think the sheer intensity of Hyperia is just going to completely top it. Like, there is going to be nothing better, and especially with a lap bar. I know Icon has a lap bar, but that's... Icon, from POVs, it seems more tame compared to Hyperia. Hyperia, it's just mental. You've got all the big elements and at such a high speed, over 80 miles per hour. It's just going to be mind-blowing, this ride. Now, my next topic is, why now? Why now after, 12 years with no coaster at Thorpe Park, except The Walking Dead, but we don't really count that one. Why after 12 years have they finally decided to put in a coaster? Well, you may remember, not too long ago, there was a little project called the London Resort. Oh dear. It claimed to be the next Disneyland in the UK. That's not possible at all. The UK cannot do a Disneyland. It's just not going to work. This plan, I believe, had companies like BBC and ITV involved with it. They all eventually dropped out, and then it closed down because there was like a rare creature on the land or something. So that's no more. Then, following on from that, and a project I'm very excited about, Universal Studios Great Britain. Set to be even better than Epic Universe, the new park opening up next summer. And that park is already mind-blowing. I cannot wait for Epic Universe, whenever it opens, if it opens. Please don't do a London Resort, please don't do a London... But with the world-class rides that London Resort was set to offer, and the world-class theming, Universal Studios Great Britain was set to offer Thought Park and all Merlin parks, put these two ideas together and combined, with more effort going back into the park to boost the numbers, obviously, because Merlin, at the end of the day, they want the money. You had Hyperia opening at Thought Park, Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers, Mandrill Mayhem at Chesington, Minifigure Speedway at Legoland. Even outside of parks, you had the however many foot tall croc drop at Adventure Island. Oh dear. Sick opening at Flamingo Land, if you really want to count that. As well as the Sparkle project taking place across the whole of Thought Park. As you've seen by their pass holder group, they're updating us constantly about what's going on in the park. The amount of marketing that the park have put in this year is unreal. That leads me to my final point. Is Thought Park and Hyperia in particular being overhyped? Now, we have seen numerous construction updates, and I'm not going to say I haven't done it either. I started my whole channel so that I could film construction updates of Hyperia. But they're all saying, oh, it's going to be the best in the UK, and the best in the UK, and the best in the UK. Is it being said too much? Will it... Like, are people's expectations too high for the ride? Is it going to be all the way up here, right above my head? And then it's going to be here. And while it still may be the best coaster in the UK, people just aren't going to view it as the best coaster in the UK because their expectations are so high. Because all the YouTubers and all the parks and Merlin and Thought Park are saying it's going to be the best coaster in the UK. Is it too much marketing? I know the park have been very subtle with their marketing and slowly putting out adverts for it, which is good on them. Slowly building it up, getting more and more people interested, building a reputation. Well done, Thought Park. But is it being built up too much as a world-class ride or Europe-class ride with plants in a desert? Green plants in a desert. Where can I find green plants in a desert? If I can find an image, put it up now. However, I think even with it being slightly overhyped, well, a lot overhyped, I think it will still be the best UK coaster. It might have a shaky start if it doesn't meet some people's expectations from there, and it gets to like, ooh, just there, and people go, ugh, ugh. Yeah, very, very good coaster. Green plants in a desert. That's all I've really got to say about this ride. Perfect layout, I think it's right length. Good design, well done to everybody who's been involved in the project, and hopefully it'll be open not too far away from now. But yeah, that's it. Like if you've enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon, hopefully. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.